I said that genotypes are changing. Genotypes are changing. By the mercies of God, let it be reversed.
I have a baby boy. Around 5 months, he was sick. We took him to the hospital. And lo and behold, we got the greatest shock of our life, that his PCV is very low, around 25%, and he needs blood transfusion. He was transfused, and ever since then, we have been visiting the hospital almost every week to check his PCV, because he's been battling ever since then with low platelets. Pastor mentioned his case one time like that, like every issue with low platelets is cancelled.
Low platelet, the devil is alive. I announce, let it be reversed.
I held on to that word, and again, I went for his genotype around when it was 8 months, and lo and behold, the genotype is SC, and I felt I was just so devastated. I'm fighting low platelets, now SC. I kept on believing God, and I kept on joining the prayer and praying. And again, Pastor mentioned that God is changing genotypes.
Oh, and Roy said genotypes are changing now. Genotypes are changing now. Let it be reversed.
The moment I heard that word, I held on to my son. I held on to the word. I went for his test last week, and the result changed, and it came out as AS.
I have a 3-year-old girl that was diagnosed with sickle cell when she turned a year old. So we got to the hospital and we are told she has sickle cell because she was having so much pain in the leg. And that same sickle cell would only attack the leg. So when I saw that, I knew it was a devil's operation, and I started praying about it until that day when Pastor Jerry, he kept on mentioning sickle cell, sickle cell, sickle cell. I took it personal. I started praying those prayers. I would replay it and replay it and replay it. So one day we were told to do a blood test for her, including the sickle cell test. So I got the blood samples before taking them to the lab, took them home, and continued to pray using the video. Kept on praying, sickle cell, you have no weight. As we take these blood samples, this girl will no longer be diagnosed with sickle cell. And praise the Lord, what God cannot heal does not exist. My daughter's results were negative of sickle cell. So the doctors were like, it's impossible. She cannot be negative. My Eroy showed up.
I had my second baby girl October last year. And 3 days after delivery, whilst at the hospital, the doctor asked to come and see me. And his message was that during the newborn screening, they detected that my daughter would have the sickle cell disease. I was honestly confused. I was asking God several questions. But I remember telling the doctor that, well, I pray on the altar of fire and I know that God will change things. So I remember the Tuesday, exactly a week after her birth date, Pastor Jerry mentioned on the altar of fire that genotypes are changing. Genotypes are changing.
Oh, and Roy said genotypes are changing now. Genotypes are changing now. Let it be reversed.
And I remember tapping into it. Now, come 6 months, came back to Ghana, and it was time for her review. So we went to the hospital and did the blood work. My brethren, when I went to the hospital and got the lab reports, what God cannot do. And so it is written here. I couldn't believe my eyes. I had to go back to the lab guys and ask that, please explain this to me. Is this a genotype? And they said yes. I was so happy. I kept screaming and shouting. I was actually saying, how will you shout at the hospital? And I remember a gentleman was, interestingly looking at me and said, Madam, I hope you're okay. And I said, yes, I just received my testimony. And he said, well, congratulations. And so this is my testimony. This is my evidence. What God cannot do,
that's not exist.
What God cannot do,
that's not exist.
shout.